Biz is saying goodbye to her garden.
It's been my life, just clearing all this mess, the mess that was here, making it into a proper garden. Well, it still is the love of my life. So I'm trying to forget about it, because I can't do anything anymore. And I've more or less just said sorry to the plants, that I can't look after you anymore. That's how mad I am.
Biz spends around 17 hours a day in bed. Her condition is getting worse.
It's changed so much in the last 18 months. I was walking with a Zimmer and able to do things. I'm just a complete prisoner in my own body now. So there's no point in putting me into prison for cannabis, sir.
It's 5 days before the court case is due to resume. Biz has been made aware it may not continue. She's talking about suicide with our cameraman, Ken Amer.
I mean, don't even do it. Well, I don't want you to do it anyway.
Oh, you do?
No, I don't.
You do? You want me to have peace, do you?
I do, yes.
You want me to be out of pain?
Mm-hmm.
Right then. That's the only way that's going to work, isn't it?
I suppose,
Yeah.
It's just such a final act.
I know. I'm just fed up fighting anyway.
Biz Ivol is about to embark on what she says is her final protest. During the early hours of this day, supporters of Biz Ivol had arrived in Orkney from England and pitched a tent in her garden, awaiting the resumption of her trial later that morning. What they didn't know was that inside the cottage, Biz was carrying out her threat to commit suicide by overdosing on paracetamol tablets. She was rushed to hospital. 3 hours later, the case against her was dropped by the Crown. A new report from her GP said her illness now made her unfit for court appearances. The sheriff said it was an unsatisfactory end to a sad case. Biz also felt dissatisfied that her suicide bid had failed, as she told our reporter David Hartley the next day from her hospital bed.
How are you feeling?
Pig sick, an utter and complete failure. I can't even commit suicide properly. I knew the night that I did it, the outcome of the trial at the sheriff's court. So they didn't see much point in carrying on fighting. It's just going to be swept under the carpet again.
Is that how you feel about the trial?
That's how I feel about it, yes. So I wanted to get the law changed. But it's going to take bigger fish than Biz to do that, I think.
As Biz recovered, others took on that role. It's the week after Biz's suicide attempt. These supporters of cannabis legalisation are campaigning in her name. They're calling her the herbal suffragette.
I personally see that there is a connection between the medical and social use of cannabis, but at the same time the issues really are separate. What Biz is fighting for is the right for people with multiple sclerosis and other serious illnesses to medicate themselves with what is a benign herb that's been used as far back as the ancient Egyptians and ancient Chinese as medicine.
Cumbrian MS sufferer Leslie Gibson has also clashed with the law. She was prosecuted at Carlisle Crown Court for using cannabis. A jury found her unanimously not guilty. Like Biz, her defence was medical necessity.
I'm a disabled person, I'm entitled to medicine. From where I'm sitting at the moment, the government are really wrong in the fact that they're depriving thousands of people of an essential medicine, not just a little medicine, an important medicine, and there's thousands of people not getting it because they can't sort this out. I'm not a doctor, I'm a hairdresser. I don't know, I know from personal experience and the people I speak to, MS sufferers, the ones that use cannabis as a medicine, it works. What more proof do you need?
Proof is something that Claire Hodges doesn't need. This former Yorkshire television producer has had MS for 20 years. Her condition is deteriorating.
I feel like an old person in that I can't see very well. I don't hear very well a lot of the time. I can't walk. I just get very tired and a bit confused. It affects your mind as well. Just like old people, your body's just fragmenting really, or just it's run its course.
Claire makes cakes with cannabis as an ingredient. She started using it 10 years ago, and as a woman whose life revolved around the Mother and Toddlers Club, finding it was difficult and embarrassing. But it had an immediate effect. For her, it's a better drug than she's been given by anyone else.
I could tell pretty much straight away how quickly, how it could help me. I could feel the tension melt from my spine and my bladder, and I could just tell this was going to be a drug that would help me. It has very clear effects which other people can't see, like taking away the pain or distancing yourself from the pain. But I think an important part of it is it does lift your spirits. It has a psychoactive effect. You don't have to get stoned out of your head like teenagers do at parties, for it to just lift your spirits and give you just a more positive outlook on life.
Biz Ivol started the Canachok bandwagon. Now her work has been taken on apace by volunteers in England who say they're sending out 250 bars a week to grateful MS victims for free. The letters they receive back up the experience of Biz's friend Bill Reeve. People are reporting dramatic improvements in their conditions. Biz says she's had similar feedback.
Every single person that's tried it, they've all benefited from it. And one dear old man in his, well, I think he must be nearly 80, and it was his ophthalmic surgeon that told him to try cannabis to relieve the pressure on his optic nerve, because he couldn't have any more operations on his eyes for his glaucoma. And he contacted me, and I sent him 7 pieces of chocolate. Within 2 pieces of chocolate, and his eyesight was back. He couldn't believe it. And he's been using it ever since. You know, when old people like that phone you up, you sort of feel, well, perhaps some good has come out of it.
But the medicinal properties of cannabis may soon manifest themselves in a different way. After 5 years of clinical trials, a company called GW Pharmaceuticals hopes the first cannabis medicine of its kind in the world will be available by the end of this year. It will be a spray into the mouth to relieve MS symptoms. David Blunkett, the Home Secretary, has said he will amend drugs regulations if GW's medicine is approved. We asked the Home Office for interviews with Mr Blunkett or the new Drugs Minister Caroline Flint. The Home Office said neither were available. Instead, they issued a statement.
We know that cannabis-based medicines can help those suffering chronic pain, but we need to be certain, as with all new medicines, that they are completely safe.
And of the proposed spray treatment, the statement went on.
If the product is approved, as we hope it will be, we will make the necessary legal changes to allow it to be prescribed for pain relief.